All right, so moving on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my fight summary on the fight that took place in the sport of boxing between Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. So we've seen Katie Taylor successfully retain her undisputed super lightweight titles against Amanda Serrano by unanimous decision by winning the fight by a total of 1 point, 95-94, in a very close fight on the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson co-main event slot on Netflix. So, it's going to be true of what I'm going to say, but it's what I believe. It was a classic fight, once again, between Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. These two they have an unbelievable chemistry in the boxing ring. This is the second time now that they've given us Fight of the Year candidate fights. And I think this was the best fight of 2024 in the sport of boxing. But it had the absolute wrong winner. Absolute robbery. Amanda Serrano should have defeated Katie Taylor. Even with that point deduction, I still don't know how Katie Taylor won this fight by unanimous decision of a score of 95-94. Very close, but that 1 point deduction really could have determined this fight. And I'm starting to wonder, was Stevie Wonder calling this fight? Because Amanda Serrano outlanded Katie Taylor by a total of 324 punches to Katie Taylor's 217 punches. That's a total of 107 total punches landed more that Amanda Serrano landed on Katie Taylor. And Amanda Serrano also outlanded Katie Taylor by 44% of punches compared to Katie Taylor's 41% of punches. I really think that headbutt changed the whole entire trajectory of the fight. I think Amanda Serrano really would have knocked out Katie Taylor if the headbutt never happened. But I have to say that if that didn't happen, Katie Taylor was getting gassed. She was winded. She didn't know what was really going to happen. I really think Amanda Serrano really would have put her away. But that headbutt, that accidental headbutt, really changed the whole trajectory of the entire fight that night. So I got to say, round 7 of that fight was pretty epic. I mean, Amanda and Katie went back and forth. I think that was the best round 7 I've ever seen in women's boxing history. Now, that's tough to say because of how good round 10 was between Katie and Amanda 2 years ago in 2022. But that round 7, clean exchanges, 2 minutes of violence, back and forth punches, and with both Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor giving us epic punches in the pocket, throwing bombs and not being afraid to get hit. I mean, you don't really, even in the men, you don't even see that type of defense, just letting it go and not even having a care in the world for your defense. That's what boxing, that's what entertainment really is. And I got to say, these two ladies give us one hell of a performance. It just sucks this time because, yes, there was a conversation to have about the first fight of how close it was. There's no right or wrong answer if you had Katie win the first time, Amanda win the first time, or a draw the first time. But I really got to say that this time around, it's really, how can you really say Katie won this time? I mean, I'm being completely honest, very close. Even though Katie gave us one hell of a fight, she had good counter punching in this fight. But even Amanda outlanded her in her best rounds, round 9 and round 10. And in total punches, Amanda led in that category. Total jabs, Amanda landed was more in that category. Total power punches, Amanda led in that category. Every important stat there is, Amanda had the edge. And having 107 punches landed more than Katie Taylor. That's the whole story of the fight. Plus that 1 point deduction. If anything, this should have been favored as a draw. But it is what it is. We all know there's some shady stuff that happens in the sport of boxing in the state of Texas. So my heart just, I was so heartbroken. I even stood up out of my chair Friday watching the fight after the fight announcement, knowing damn well they got this decision wrong. But I gave Amanda Serrano a lot of credit. She fought like a true champion. She really didn't even have to continue once that accidental headbutt happened. It really could have went into the judge's favor if she did not want to continue because it was her call. And that headbutt, that cut, man, I know she had to get stitches Saturday morning after that. But I will say, Katie Taylor started picking up steam in the second half of the fight once the accidental headbutt happened because and that's why it became an absolute war. And this was the best fight of 2024 in the sport of boxing. I know I've said that Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk fight was the best, but not until now. Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, that's the best fight of 2024. And this honestly should have been the main event of the entire Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson card in the first place. With Jake Paul and Mike Tyson at best being in the co-main event after what they gave us in the main event. So, I also, they're revolutionizing. I have to give Jake Paul some more credit because he's helped revolutionize women's boxing. I mean, they're getting the credit. Amanda being signed with Most Valuable Promotion, she's always been a legend, but a lot of people didn't even know who she was, including myself, until I recognized her being on Jake Paul's platforms and his fight cards. So I gotta say, she's a true legend in the game. But Jake Paul has really elevated her to get the spotlight that she deserves. Eddie Hearns, also with Matchroom Boxing, does a great job showcasing the woman. He's done that all of Katie Taylor's career. So even though Jake Paul and Eddie Hearns have their differences, it was good that they worked together to make sure we got Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor Part 2. And also, Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor, the rematch, had 50 million viewers on Netflix. 10 million viewers shy of what Jake Paul and Mike Tyson had at 60 million when those two respective fighters fought. So hats off to both of these women. So what's next for Katie Taylor? Katie Taylor is still the undisputed super lightweight champion in the sport of women's boxing. Katie Taylor is getting up there in age. She is 38 years of age. She's probably got 1 to 2 fights left before she hangs it up and calls it a career. Now that the Amanda fight is over, I do believe that she should turn to another fighter that is due for a rematch, that being Chantel Cameron. The series between them is tied 1-1. Chantel Cameron beat her the first time. Katie Taylor took her titles the second time. It's 1-1. I do believe that we should see this trilogy, but before Katie retires, she's got to give us one more fight against Amanda Serrano. Give it to me one more time because of how epic it was in 2022 and how close it was then, and how epic it was in 2024 of how close it was. So what's next for Amanda Serrano? Now, even though Amanda Serrano lost for the third time in her career, she's still the unified featherweight champion. Amanda Serrano has shown her whole entire career she could travel up and down weight classes comfortably. I call her the Manny Pacquiao of women's boxing because she's a 7-time world champion in 7 different weight classes, which is pretty remarkable, pretty phenomenal for a woman to do that. So I think the money fight to be made in 2025 for Amanda Serrano is against Alicia Baumgartner. I think that's the next big money fight to be made in women's boxing. This fight could happen at 130 pounds because Amanda just went up to 140 to fight Katie Taylor, even though it was a catch weight at 138. I think Amanda would have no problem fighting Alicia Baumgartner at 130. Both women have been talking about this fight for a while. I think that could be the next money fight because you have the power, the IQ, and the veteran awareness of Amanda Serrano matching up against Alicia Baumgartner, who also has power. She also is pretty quick and athletic in that boxing ring. She also has got the boxing IQ as well. So I think that's a big money fight. I think that's a 50-50 fight. I think there's no guarantee that somebody would go all 10 rounds either, with both women possessing a lot of power. But yes, that is the fights that I do believe should happen next for Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. But one day, we should get the third and final fight between these two respective women before they hang it up. But that is my Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor fight summary.